We all have routines that we follow every day. For me, it was the late-night grind in the quiet office, a place I thought I knew like the back of my hand. But that night, everything changed. My name is Daniel Carter, and this is the story of how one ordinary shift turned into the most terrifying experience of my life. After that night, I made a decision I've never regretted. It was a Friday night, just past 10 p.m. My boss had dropped a last-minute project on my desk, so I decided to stay late and finish it. The office, a small marketing firm in downtown Chicago, was eerily quiet, the kind of silence you only get when everyone else has gone home. The fluorescent lights buzzed faintly, flickering now and then, and the hum of the air conditioning was the only sound. I settled into my desk, thinking it would be just another long night. But as the minutes ticked by, I started to feel it, a strange heaviness in the air, like something wasn't quite right. Then, I heard the footsteps. Soft and deliberate, echoing faintly down the dark hallway. I froze. "Hello?" I called out, but there was no answer. The cleaning crew wasn't scheduled for that night, and as far as I knew, I was the only one here. I shook it off and tried to focus on my work, but the lights began flickering more frequently. The corridor outside my cubicle was dark, the flickering casting strange, shifting shadows. I needed a break. I decided to head to the break room for some water. As I passed the conference room, I noticed the door was slightly ajar. Inside, the single chair at the head of the table was pulled out, and on its surface was a faint, dark smudge, a handprint. My stomach twisted. I shut the door quickly and walked away, my footsteps echoing unnaturally loudly in the empty space. Back at my desk, I tried to convince myself it was nothing. But then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw it, a shadow darting across the far wall of the office. I whipped my head around, but the hallway was empty. My pulse quickened, and my breath felt short. "Is someone there?" I called out, my voice cracking. The silence that followed was deafening. I glanced at my phone, tempted to call security, but something stopped me. Maybe it was pride. Maybe it was fear of sounding crazy. Then I heard the whisper, a faint, unintelligible murmur coming from the direction of the conference room. It sounded close, too close. I grabbed my bag, ready to leave, when the lights above me suddenly went out. I stumbled toward the stairwell, my heart pounding. The door to the stairs was locked. That didn't make sense, it was supposed to stay open at all times. I fumbled with my keys, trying to find the right one, but my hands were shaking so badly I kept dropping them. Behind me, I heard the unmistakable creak of the conference room door opening again. I didn't dare turn around. Finally, I found the key and shoved it into the lock. The door swung open, and I bolted down the stairs. But halfway down, the lights in the stairwell flickered and went out. I froze, the darkness around me feeling suffocating. That's when I heard it, the sound of someone laughing softly, echoing through the stairwell. I reached the lobby, my breath coming in ragged gasps. The security desk was empty, and the front doors were locked. My heart sank. I pounded on the glass, shouting for help, but no one answered. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw movement. At first, I thought it was my reflection in the glass doors, but as I turned, I realized it wasn't. It was a figure, tall, shadowy, and indistinct, standing in the center of the darkened lobby. They didn't move, didn't speak, just stood there, watching me. My phone buzzed suddenly, making me jump. It was a text message from an unknown number. It read, "You forgot to clock out." I looked up, and the figure was gone. For a brief moment, I stood paralyzed, unable to breathe. Then, without a second thought, I dropped my phone, turned, and sprinted out of the building as fast as I could. I didn't dare look back, not once. I didn't even want to hear my own footsteps. The next morning, the sunlight streaming through my apartment windows did little to chase away the shadows of the night before. My mind was a storm of questions and unease. Was it all just an elaborate prank? Some late-night office worker trying to get a laugh? Or was it something far beyond my understanding? I didn't have the answers, and frankly, I didn't want them. What I do know is this: I'll never forget the sound of that whisper, the way the lights flickered, or the silhouette in the window. And I made a promise to myself right then and there: I will never, ever stay late at the office again. Some mysteries are best left unsolved. What would you do? Would you try to uncover the truth, or leave it behind like I did? Let me know in the comments. And one more thing, if you ever find yourself working late, just remember, you're never really alone.